Yes, so go.
Okay, thank you. I will present you the studies at my faculty, which is Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computing. We are the faculty is part of the University of Zagreb, and first about the Zagreb city. It's the capital of Croatia. It's a very nice city, the largest city in Croatia. Croatia has a long coast at Adriatic Sea, but Zagreb is located in the continental part of the country. But sea is not so far. It's like 2 hours by car. During weekends we often go to the sea, and during summer it's very warm at the Croatian coast. About Zagreb, as I said, it's the largest city in Croatia. It has many festivals during the year, street exhibitions. At all seasons, it's a very popular city for tourists. There are lots of things happening in spring, also in winter. For example, several years in a row, the Zagreb Christmas market won the prize for the best Christmas market in Europe. So it's very popular also for tourists outside of Croatia. And we have also Zagreb is old city. There is also the old city part, which has lots of these historical buildings, and there is lots of museums in Zagreb. Many things are happening in Zagreb. And now about the University of Zagreb. It's the oldest and largest university in Southeastern Europe. We have lots of students. There are 80,000 students which are active at the University of Zagreb at different levels, undergraduate students, graduate students, and doctoral students. All these students are included in this number of 80,000 students. And Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computing, which I'm presenting today, is just one of the 31 faculties which are a part of the University of Zagreb, and there is also 3 academies which are part of the University of Zagreb. FER is located at the center of the city of Zagreb. And we are also a very large institution. The faculty has 3,050 bachelor and master students, 500 postgraduate students, which are doctoral students. We have 700 employees, among which are 200 professors and 200 assistants, and around 100 of administrative staff and 200 of scientific staff. And about the studies which we offer studies at all 3 levels. We have bachelor program, which lasts for 3 years. We have bachelor program in electrical engineering and information technology. It's one part, and the other part is bachelor program in computing. And at the master level, we divide this electrical engineering and information technology into 2 studies. So we have a separate electrical engineering and information technology, and then information and communication technology, and again computing, which is also at the the bachelor level. And we have a doctoral program and also these specialist programs for which are also postgraduate programs. We also offer studies in English. We have studies in Croatian and in English, and we have like different quotas and different entrance requirements for our studies in Croatian and English. And for Ukrainian students, they enter to the quota for international students for Croatian language. So we have a quota of 20 international students, and Ukrainian students can, if they get temporary protection status, which is, I think, not so hard to get that kind of status in Croatia if you are a student from Ukraine, then you have the same same conditions and the same status as you are a student from Croatia. So there is no difference. And that's for the bachelor level. We have these 20 places for international students in Croatian language. But also in recent years, we had each year we have 5 to 10 students from Ukraine, and when they enter our studies, they usually don't speak Croatian, but they learn it very easy because both languages are Slavic, so it's not so hard. But when you start our studies, as we have also studies in English, we offer Ukrainian students which are in start not so good in Croatian to attend some courses in English language. And when they are able to follow the courses, follow the lectures and do laboratory exercises in Croatian, we then switch them again to the Croatian studies. Because there is no quota for Ukrainian students in our English studies. We have only quota for our Croatian studies. But as I explained, in this process, we are very flexible, and we offer Ukrainian students to attend some courses in English. About master programs, as I explained, we have like 3 different studies, and for each of these studies, we have like different profiles. For example, for the computer science, we have like 4 different profiles. We have a profile in for example, programming engineering. We have a profile in artificial intelligence. We have profile in communication networks. And in our English studies at master level, we don't offer all of these profiles, but just some of them. So at this slide, you can see that, for example, for computing science, we offer data science profile, but I'm not sure for most of the attendants today, are they interested mostly for the undergraduate studies or also for the master studies? So can maybe somebody write to the chat which studies are more interesting for attendance, undergraduate or graduate studies. Okay, nobody is. And we also have very productive research laboratories. We have lots of different scientific projects funded from Croatian Science Foundation, from European Commission, and we are one of the institutions in Croatia, second one in Croatia according to the number of research projects. The first one is Institute Ruđer Bošković, but they don't offer studying. They are just research institution. We have currently running 145 research projects at different international and national levels. So, as I said, we have these Horizon projects, Erasmus, Interreg projects, many different schemes of fundings are covering these projects. And FAIR is very good partner for research and development, and lots of our students after finishing their studies, they stay to work at FAIR on these research projects. And we also try to involve our students, especially our graduate students, to practically work during studies on these research projects. And also we try to match their master thesis, the topics of their master thesis to our research projects. That's very important for us. And we also have 5 research centers, and many different research laboratories are included in these research centers. As you can see, we have the Center Artificial Intelligence, and many of the laboratories work in the field of artificial intelligence. Then we have a very strong team for APC architecture, high performance computing. We have one center of research excellence for advanced cooperative systems. Here are mostly topics related to robotics. We have excellence for Center of Excellence for Computer Vision, also, and for data science. So most of our research projects are related to these 5 fields of scientific research. And here you can see our research laboratories. We cover lots of things. Lots of interesting research is going in these laboratories. Our master's students usually they pick the topics in which they are interested. They choose among these laboratories, and during the work on their master thesis, they work with the members of these laboratories on interesting topics. Okay, that's in short what I was trying to show you about my institution and university. I shared a presentation with you and also this link to a video, but I'm not sure that you will be able to see this video if I run it, but let's try. No, you cannot see it. I think it's impossible to share a video, only files like the PDF of the presentation. No, this is something different. Presentation, whiteboard, YouTube. Okay, there is a YouTube. But how can we play something here? Okay, it's not important. So I'm now open for questions. So please, can you ask your questions here in the chat area, so that I can answer to your questions. What documents are required for admission? Okay, we have a link for Ukrainian students, and I will also share you this link. In the public part, everything is in Croatian, but you can translate it to English or Ukrainian language.
Video translation.
Sorry?
Video?
No, I shared the link about the entrance requirements, the admission requirements, because somebody asked about that. Here is the can you see the I'm now sharing a link on a web. Do you see it, or you are still seeing this presentation?
Link в public chat он есть.
Okay, I will download this in PDF. Let me do it. Okay, PDF. Let me share it with you. Here, under YouTube shared files, I will add a file.
YouTube?
Okay, now I share the file. Okay, how to open this file which I shared?
Зараз.
So I share the file to you.
Так.
It's called screen capture something. How to open it?
One moment, please.
Screen sharing service. Presentation mode.
Link в приват-чат. Не в приват, а public chat.
Okay, public. added to public. So
public.
you have these two links. If you click on the second link, here are the requirements.
One link, yes, two link, yes. So good.
Yeah, you have it's in Croatian, but you can translate it. So if you're foreign residents, which you are, then it's required that you have finished high school, which was at least 4 years long, and you need to have these additional requirements, for example, mathematics, that you during your high school that you have mathematics courses, physics, and foreign language. So these are basic requirements. How much does a student need per month to live? It depends because there are student dormitories, and if you are under temporary protection status, then you have the same rights as Croatian students. You have a right to you can get a place in student dormitory, and then it's very cheap to stay there. I'm not sure about the price, but it's much cheaper than renting an apartment. And about additional costs, you have also a right to get a subvention for eating in students' restaurants. So if you get dormitory and eat in students' restaurants, then it's very cheap. And how many students from Ukraine are currently studying at the university? I'm not sure about the university, but about my faculty, we have 20 to 25 students currently, I think, at both bachelor and master level. So as I explained, the university is very large, but so I don't know about these numbers for the whole university. I just have numbers for my faculty. The faculty is open. Does mean that you have round the clock access not only to study but special labs. No, during the night you cannot go to laboratories because they are closed, but there are some rooms, computer labs, and some rooms for teaching, where you can learn. You can be at the faculty all the time, but when you are in the laboratory, then usually somebody from the laboratory has to be with you. So during night, nobody is there to be with you, so you cannot enter laboratories. The problem is English taught. How comfortable are international students in labs and projects where some staff may use Croatian? No, I think all of our employees can speak in English. I think 99% of them are speaking English, so there is no risk of such kind of isolation. Okay, housing. How realistic is it for international students to get a dorm place?
Emir, one moment,
yes.
Please. Video screen display questions. You answer. Good?
Okay, great. Because I'm looking at this chat
Так,
window,
так.
and now, okay, sorry, we will focus on the middle of the screen.
Да, good. Всем.
I'm not sure how it is to get a place in student dormitory. Okay, not all students get a place in student dormitories, but I cannot say. It depends on the student. For example, for the first year of bachelor studies, the students are ranked according to their their position on the list. Usually they check your grades from high school and rank you among the other students. So certain number of best ranked students get the place in student dormitory, and after that, when you are at the second and third year and so on, they rank you according to grades at the faculty, and also according to number of courses that you have passed a year before. And we have also like a special arrangement with one company which helps international students to get apartment to rent apartment, and because it's not so easy to rent an apartment in Croatia when you are outside of Croatia. So this company they offer students to do all the process for them, and then it's much easier, and usually they offer you a much lower price than the price that you could get for renting an apartment found by yourself.
There's the next question, and I will display it on the screen. Good?
Good, okay. I already answered to these questions. Most of our staff, they are speaking English, so there is no risk of being isolated among people speaking Croatian. So, and Croatia is a tourist country, so there are lots of tourists, and it's no problem when you are at the street to find somebody who is able to speak English. Most of people can speak English, so that's not a problem. For example, when I was in different countries as a tourist, sometimes it's very hard to find somebody who is able to speak English, but in Croatia, that's not the case. It's very easy to find somebody who speaks English. Okay, we also have arrangement with Faculty of Philosophy. They offer some courses for our foreign students, courses of Croatian language. So it's possible to go to official course and get CTS points when you are a student. And I'm not sure how to answer to this question, how to start learning the language when you are outside of Croatia. Probably there are some online courses or something like that, but I'm not sure. I know when you're in Croatia, in Zagreb, we offer to our students these courses at the Faculty of Philosophy. So and also you can privately arrange some private tutor for Croatian language. That's not a problem. If you speak English, it's very easy to find somebody who will teach you Croatian language. You have mentioned the presentation file being shared. That does not seem to be the case for me. Anyone else have the same problem? Here you have like these tabs: public, questions, your team, shared files. So I added 2 files here, but I'm not sure how can you access these files. Maybe the administrator can help us. Maybe I have to okay, add okay, files. I think that I now share the presentation and this screen capture. Oops, sorry. It's not. Edit. Shared files. Okay, next question, please. What documents are required for admission? This admission process is explained here at the web of the faculty. I will share you a link.
Link to chat.
Public chat. in chat. So admission requirements. Or these are admission requirements for foreign students and for our studies in English and for Croatian studies. I think that I already shared this link, but I will share it again. Okay, you can find these specific admission requirements here at these 2 links. Okay, next question, please. Does the university provide dormitories for students? Yes, there are these dormitories for students in Zagreb. There are several of them, and they are not owned by the faculty or university. They are like a different entity it's a student center which offers these dormitories. So as I explained, you have the same rights as Croatian students if you are under this temporary protection status. But it depends, will you get the place in the student dormitory? It depends on your grades from high school or later from faculty. Next question, please. Are there entrance exams for the robotics major? There are no entrance exams because in Croatia we have like we call it državna matura, which is like a country. It's a test at country level, which all our high school students, when they finish their education at high schools, they have to go to this test. And then when you enroll for studies, usually your grades at that test, državna matura, are taken into account. A combination of grades from the test and from your high school grades. Are something similar in Ukraine, that you have like this country test at the end of the high school? Do you have something like that, or each school has its own test? I'm not sure how it functions in Ukraine. So there are, for bachelor studies, there are no entrance exams. How much does a student need per month to live? It's hard to say. There are lots of these sites which can like make a prediction of money necessary to live at a specific city. So you can check for Zagreb. But if you get student dormitory and all students can eat in these student restaurants where it's very cheap, then it's not so expensive. But renting an apartment, it depends. As I explained, we have arrangement with that company which finds accommodation for students, and I think it's if you don't get dormitory, probably you will need 300 to 400 euros per month to rent an apartment. Okay, I'm not sure about these questions. Usually, all Croatian students have at least 18 years, so I'm not sure about students which enroll at age 17. It's hard for me to answer you because I don't know. Sorry. I will leave you my email. So here is my email. So please send me an email, and I will ask our student service to help me answer this question. Okay, next question, please. Yes, there are lots of these projects at the bachelor level. In the last year, we have like one student project, and after that there is like a bachelor thesis. These are actually like two courses. One course is bachelor project, and the other is a bachelor thesis, where you work on practical things, for example, prototypes or robots, but also on many courses during your studies. As a part of a course, you not only have lectures and laboratory exercise, sometimes at some courses you also have like these project assignments where you get assignment, and you have 2 months to do some kind of practical implementation, and it's possible to pass some courses by finishing these kind of projects. Okay, next question, please. There is no language center at the university, but as I explained, we have an arrangement with Faculty of Philosophy, and they have a special center for learning Croatian language, and they offer courses of Croatian language to our students. Next question, please. So about tuition fee for IT major, I suppose it's like a IT master. You're not talking about bachelor level, but about master level. There is no tuition fee for students from Ukraine for Croatian studies, but for studies in English language there is a tuition fee. But as I explained, when you start with your studies at my institution, if you have problems with Croatian, we offer you these courses at Faculty of Philosophy to learn Croatian, but also to attend some courses in English language. So it's free if you are a student of in Croatian language, but if you go directly as a foreign student to our English studies, to our studies in English, then this tuition fee is quite high. It's 5,000 to 6,000 euros per year for bachelor and master studies. But as I explained, if you have this temporary protection status in Croatia, you don't have to pay that tuition fee. It's free for you, because our studies for Croatian students are completely free. There is no tuition fee. Next question, please. Okay, I don't think that there is a specific level or specific number of points which you have to collect at these exams like TOEFL. The paper which shows that you speak English is enough. So if you had the English course in your high school or elementary school, it's enough. You don't have to. You don't need to have this TOEFL certificate with certain number of points. Next question, please. Yes, for non-EU international students, there are tuition fees for our studies in English language. And but as I explained, the students from Ukraine have a different status that other non-EU international students, because you can get this temporary protection status in Croatia, and then you have much better rights than non-EU international students, because you have the same rights as Croatian and EU students. Next question, please. Which faculties are considered the strongest and most innovative? My faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computing, is considered the best faculty in Croatia, in all different research areas. So if you ask anyone in Croatia which is the best faculty, they will say the Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Computing in Zagreb. Next question. There are no entrance exams for English students. What exact selection criteria do you use? It's the answer to this question is covered by a link which I shared with you previously. So let me open it. I will again share this link, so it's here. Next question, please. There are no, how is the balance between theoretical study and practical work? Usually, if we are talking about bachelor level, then the first part of bachelor studies is mostly theoretical. There is lots of mathematics, physics, and the second part of the second year and the third year, it's more practical, because you have more practical courses, you have more these projects. And when we are talking about graduate studies, then during both years you have this practical work. It's not divided so clearly as at the bachelor level. There is, I could say that our master studies are more practical than theoretical, because we usually want to involve students at master level to work in laboratories on these research projects. So it's, I would say it's mostly practical. Next question. We don't have like at master level, we have like this nice profiling of different studies, but at the bachelor level, we have just electrotechnics and information in the computing, electrotechnics and information technology, and computing. but at the third year of bachelor studies, you can enroll to several courses which are related to AI and data management. So, but also at the second year, there are many courses at the computing which are related to data management, like databases, introduction to data science, and so on. Next question. Yes, we have how to say it? It's like a project where companies apply for internships, and also students apply for internships, and then we match them, and then it's possible to find a company in which you can do internship. Usually, the internship is during summer, during months when there are no lectures, and so it's possible, but it's not obligatory. It's like a elective. If you are not interested to do internship in company, then you don't need to do it. Next question. Okay, we have lots of collaboration with Croatian companies, and also some companies from Europe. There are these big companies in Croatia like Končar, like Infobip, which is the first Croatian unicorn. We have very good research collaboration with these companies, and lots of projects in which people from companies and faculty work together. So during your work at your master thesis or your bachelor thesis, it's possible to also get involved with people from these companies to help you. We have also possibility that you that you can have a mentor on your bachelor or master thesis, which is from company. So it's also possible. We have like a program in which companies also can apply with interesting topics, which they think that can be like a student master thesis. So it's possible. Next question, please. Okay, we previously didn't have that kind of arrangement, but we are working. We are working for the next academic year to get one big company to involve one big company to offer scholarships for our master students. So for now we don't have it, but probably we'll have that for the next academic year. But it's not. We are working still on it. It's not completed yet. Next question, please. What what are job prospects for IT graduates right after university? But most of our students, they already start to work for IT companies at the first or second year of their master studies. So usually it's not hard to find a job after getting diploma. And as I explained, it's possibility, and it's happening very often that our students during master studies they get some kind of student job for IT company. Next question, please. What percentage of international graduates stay to work after graduation? I'm not sure. It's hard for me to answer you this question because after you finish your studies, you can go anywhere in Europe to start working. I don't know the statistics. Maybe you can ask this question to send that question to my email, so I will try to get some statistics to answer, because I'm not sure. Next question, please. Yes, as I explained, there are language courses at the Faculty of Philosophy, and we have arrangement with them to offer these courses to our students. Next question. No, there is no such guarantee. There is like a list of 4 interested students, and they are ranked according to their high school grades or later grades at the faculty level, so there is no guarantee. Next question. How is it to find a student job? Well, most of our students who find a student job during their studies, they work for companies. How to say that? They're not working for McDonald's or something like that. They work in IT companies, so their student job is related to their studies. So I suppose it's easy to find it. Next question. Yes, there are some interviews because, for example, at bachelor level, the requirement is that you had physics during your high school, and if you didn't have physics, then you need to show your knowledge in physics on the entrance exam. But not all students have to go have to take these entrance exams. Only if you didn't have certain courses in high school. And at the master level, there is entrance exam, but not for studies in English language. And for studies in Croatian language, there is some entrance exam which covers knowledge from these most important courses from the bachelor level, such as mathematical analysis, object-oriented programming, and but it's not hard to pass this kind of entrance exam. I think that you need to collect like something like 15% to pass. Next question, please. Everything is explained on these two links which I shared with you previously. So you need to have a certificate of citizenship, probably translated if it's in Ukrainian, and you need to have your grades from high school, your high school diploma, and if you didn't have English language, then you need some kind of certificate to show that you speak English language, if we are talking about English studies. But you need to carefully read this at these two links which are shared to you. Next question, please. What percentage of students actually get involved? I suppose that more than half of them. It depends. It depends on the mentor. If mentor has scientific projects, then usually mentor tries to involve his or her students in these projects. And if they don't have, then they don't offer that kind of involvement to their students. But I suppose that more than half of them are working on these projects. Next question. Are there any double degrees programs with universities in other countries? Yes, we have double degree with Politecnico di Milano from Milan in Italy. And we are currently arranging another double degree program. And I think it will also be with one faculty from Italy. But currently, among currently active double degrees, there is only that with Politecnico di Milano. Next question, please. Are there opportunities to work as a student assistant? Yes, it's possible. And you can also be paid for that kind of student job. So yes, it's possible. It's not a full-time job, but you work at some courses for a certain number of hours. You help other students to finish their tasks during laboratory exercises, and then you can be paid for that. Next question, please. What is your top advice for an applicant to join your university? The best advice is to ask our student service about all these specific things related to admission. And I will share with you let me check where is their email. Useful information. Okay, this is very good link. I will share it about some useful information. Also about learning Croatian, living in Zagreb, health insurance, And yeah, here is at the bottom of the web page. You have this enrollment email. Oops. Okay, let me share it again. And if you ask a question there, you will get very precise and good answer. So the top advice is to ask everything our student service and about things in which you are interested. Next question. Yes, we at different courses we use different simulation softwares. So we have official licenses for these softwares. So most of these popular simulation softwares are used in our laboratories and in our computer rooms. And for example, MATLAB, we offer to our students to get, we have like these floating licenses, so you can install, for example, MATLAB on your computer or on your laptop and use it at home. So you don't need to go to computer laboratory. You can install it, for example, at your own laptop. Next question. Yes, but we offer this specialization at master level. There is a specialization in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, it's very specific. To our master students, we offer many these elective courses. Only one course is obligatory at master level. So you pick these other courses according to your interests. So if you are interested in cybersecurity, there are like 7 or 8 courses which cover these different topics, and at the master level you can pick all of them. There is no like a special specialization, but by picking courses in which you are interested, you can get your own specialization. It will not be officially written on your diploma, but you can pick these courses normally. The next question, please. Okay, does it cover health insurance and study materials? Okay, study materials are covered. I'm not sure about health insurance, because I suppose that if you get this temporary protection status in Croatia, then you have the same rights as Croatian citizens. So you get health insurance. But please ask this question, send it to my email or ask here at enrollment. Next question, please. Are there additional questions? No. Sorry, you are muted. You are muted again.
Так. I
There are
think
no questions.
there are no more questions, да.
Okay, so these
The
are all
presentation
questions.
is for answering for questions. Так, дякую всім, хто був на презентації. Так,
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
всі почули відповідь на свої питання вже. Так, зараз ще подивлюся. Подивлюся. Ні, нема більш питань.
Okay, нема
Все,
питання.
добре. Дякую. Да, thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.